We are happy to say that we are up to 460 members, which, extremely exciting because everybody knows we started with 7. Right now, the goal here is that we want to sit back and start promoting and having self-promotion. So what does that mean? The fact of, again, not being shy about who we are and who we represent, but making sure that we continuously push that so our numbers will grow even higher. Again, making sure that we actually have it where we have individuals of color, but also we have numerous allies, again, that are also a part of the organization. So self-promotion is something that is extremely important that we want to make sure that we push. How are we going to continue to do so is that I'm not sure if everybody's seen it, but I'm hoping everybody has their kind of the lapel pin. I'm going to order a whole bunch more so that we can actually start putting it onto our lapels when we go to conferences, or you can put it on your lanyard as well, just to further promote. And we're also going to get some t-shirts made up. And so we have the ability to have it where if you're going to, dress down and maybe you have a sports jacket on or something, you could actually wear your shirt doing one day or so doing any particular conference. So we're going to put that together and I'll show the steering committee some of the designs and we'll make something that looks, nice and further promotes the efforts of what we're trying to do. I'm hoping everybody received it. And if anybody who did not receive the April newsletter, if you could just raise your hand, because you should have received it in your inbox. But if you did not receive it, please let us know so we can check the email address that we have for you on file. Okay? So no hands being seen. That means everybody received it. And I can't see everybody's screen, but again, let me know. Next thing we actually have here is we actually have it where, and Dala, do you want to share with a special email that got sent out by you?
So this was an email that went out in regard. Well, thank you for doing that so quickly. Let me see if I can pull it really quick.
Well, just explain it.
Okay. So basically we sent out an email that has a list of requests for speakers for one of our event sponsors. And we're really excited because, we're going to have this new page on Blacks in Performance Marketing on our website. So Blacks IPM, we're going to have a page where those speakers are going to be listed and companies can go to if they need speakers to see if they can find someone who is speaking on the topic that they're looking for. So we sent out an email to everyone that has a list of what one particular company is looking for. So please see if you can find that email. And if you meet any of the criteria for either the title or the topic, please let me know. Just reach out and let me know.
So
This is so exciting.
I thought it was an awesome opportunity to have it where events all around the country, if not all around the world, we're starting to partner up with. Not only are they getting us discounted passes to attend their particular events so that we can encourage individuals of color to attend their events, but they're also understanding there's a lack of diversity when it comes to the speakers, the individuals who are clearly on the stage. And so they've given us the opportunity to sit back and say, hey guys, we need your help. Can you find more individuals who meet this criteria? So we want to continue to do so. So please throw your name in the hat. Look at that email, ask for it to be resent, whatever it might be. And as Indala mentioned, we will put it onto the website as well. But great opportunity to go from there. With that in mind, at LeadsCon, myself, Indala, and Matt had an opportunity to speak there on Tuesday, which was great. Matt, did you want to just give a brief synopsis of what we were able to cover?
Sure. I mean, really, the conversation was about diversity within our industry and, things that we could be doing to continue to push forward in increasing our presence within the industry. The session itself, unfortunately, was not as highly attended as we would have liked. And so I think there are several takeaways that we took from this in that, a lot more promotion needs to take place. in order to make sure that it's very clear about what it is that, what our objectives are in trying to bring people together. I think just within the conference itself, further promotion through, the actual like boards or stand up signs that are there that we can continue to promote there. And then also, I think, leading up to it and the day of, really having a big social media push as well. And hopefully working with other organizations to help promote it too. Um, I do realize that these conferences oftentimes the content is based on allowing individuals to identify ways that they can increase revenue or sell their product within the industry. But this is something that we need to continue to promote and make sure that everyone understands the benefits and the values of having a diverse population within our industry. So a lot was learned. I think the conversation that we did have was very healthy and engaging, and we'll continue to do this more at more and more conferences.
Love it.
You want to add anything, Sean or Andala?
No, I mean, for me, again, I think you hit all the points across the board, but there's going to be a lot more of this. And keep in mind, guys, that right now there are about 65 conferences that we have listed. We've already received and made relationships with about 12 to 15 of them. Get the numbers. Some of them we're waiting for the contracts to come back. But right now it's growing. And I believe there's one major organization that has even probably like over 100 events. So we're going to choose the ones that, of course, that are most relevant to marketing across the board, not just always lead gen, but marketing across the board that we will be able to offer. And as an added benefit to being a member, you receive discounts, if not sometimes free entrance to these conferences. So they are clearly taking a stance of they want to see more diversity at their conferences, and they're going to be able to utilize us and our organization to be able to encourage that. So with that in mind, it's going to, we're excited about making a difference and adding to the value of our overall organization. The next thing that we have on our list here is, and they're really, really excited about this one, is what's coming next, and you can see it on your screen, is our BiPM Summit. And we're going to come up with an official name, but it's the pre-conference to Lead Gen World, which will be January 2025. So we've got, of course, several months, but time flies, as you guys know. And what we're going to do is we're thinking about, it's going to be an agenda, excuse me, that we will set that will be something to the nature of about 9 to 2 p.m. We're looking for maybe 3 to 4 sessions, along with a lot of networking time in between. We're looking for speakers. We're looking for overall ideas. Again, signage. Again, making sure that we have some sponsorships there. Again, right now, I just got a email from Mike, and he just confirmed with me about an hour ago that our room, which is going to be a fairly large one, is all set. So we are locked and loaded. And if you attended Lead Gen World earlier this year, excuse me, there were 2 very large rooms right outside of the exhibit hall area. One of those rooms will be ours. And again, this is in essence probably the second or the third largest room in the overall event. So extremely excited about that. So we're going to put that together. And a part of it is that we've decided to actually go and get students. So we're going to call them student guests, or we'll come up with an official name. But there is a local school, a local HBCU, which is called Florida Memorial University, I believe. Our goal here is to work with them and others to go to their marketing departments and encourage them for us to introduce to them what lead generation is and this particular type of marketing that we do. And so this is a flyer that you see on the screen that we created to actually have it with, with Lead Gen World. We're again having it where we introduce them to our world and our society. Again, I was actually talking to Brad just yesterday about the fact of how this opportunity could actually lead to internships for several businesses that we represent as well. Once they're introduced, what they might want to do. And then also the fact of because these younger students, I mean, they live on social media, some things they could do to bring our individual companies to the next level. Again, so being able to work with them in several capacities. So excited about it. We're going to be offering again different opportunities for this, but please keep eyes and ears open. And if you want to be a part of, some portions of the conference, let us know. If you have speakers that you think that would be dynamic, that we would want to hear from, please let us know. This is a group activity, but we're going to put together the framework and make sure that it is successful. Any questions, concerns about, again, about the Blacks in Performance Marketing Summit? Excellent. So with that in mind, the next thing that I want to talk about is our industry event sponsors. I touched on it a little bit about the fact of how many we're already going after, and we're sending out probably about 10, at least 10 to 15 emails each and every week, because again, we have to follow up. So when they sit back and say yes, or whatever the case might be, we have to follow up and make sure that we create that partnership. I think we made the announcement last month, but just in case we did not, but Indala has agreed to become our sponsor and member liaison, so that once people sign up and they're getting more involved, again based on schedules like what I might have, she's agreed to make sure that we do not that no one gets forgotten about, and that we give them as much attention as possible. So yes, Cruz, yes, there's reason for it, and thanking Indala for joining the team in an official capacity. So with this in mind, guys, there's some incredible opportunities. Indala, you want to tell about what's going on next week, the next 2 weeks, some of those events?
So, and it was really sad because we wanted to find a way to attend as many of these our event sponsored conferences as we can. But even though a couple of these are close, so PI Live is happening in Miami. We have discounts for PI Live. Possible 2024 is also happening in Miami, and the dates are crossing over each other. So we could only, I would love it if we could have some people that would go to one and some people go to another. I think it would be amazing. But and you could go click on.
Bella,
Yes,
can I
yes.
just can you give us some background on what the shows are? Like I don't know anything about PI Live or any of the shows that are listed here.
So the cool thing is that we have links to all of these conferences, so we can
Okay.
send out, and I believe in the newsletter we list them, don't we, down at the bottom? So you can go in and just click on it. It'll give you everything, so it'll be easier for you to see. But I know for one, possible 2024 has some great speakers, including Bazoma St. John is going to be there, the person who we mentioned in our last meeting, and we gave a little shout out to her in our Women's History Month. And who else? Gary V is going to be there, and there's some other really big names that are going to be there as well. So we know that, and a lot of these are about business and building business and marketing. So yes, so Mariano, thank you. Yes, we list them all in the newsletter. So any of these you can just click on. The discounts we also list, so you'll be aware of what's available for you, and just looking to have fun with that. There's another one coming up too the week after, I believe, is the Call and Contact Conference. Trying to remember exactly. Oh, it's back in Vegas. It's back in Vegas. So, and we do have discounts for that one as well. So again, please reach out. Yeah.
This here is just a sampling that we're showing you here. If you look at the newsletters, you'll see that right now there are about 12, I think, and I think we have 3 more pending already, as far goes, that have acknowledged who we are, what our mission is, and they want to encourage all of our members to come out.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're giving anything as low as 10% and sometimes free participation. Some of these conferences, where it normally costs $1,000 to attend, They're giving us free passes. Guys, please look at the emails and the newsletters that we're sending out. We are doing our best to make sure that we are building this organization for each and every one of us. And again, it's doors are being opened. So right now, I always tell people it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. You can make $1 billion, but if you spend $1 billion, guess what? You're broke to some degree. So one thing that I know that I'm going to be attending is the solar one, which is right here in Washington, D.C., not too far from me. And I had a chance to speak to, I think her name was Ella, who runs that particular event. You're talking about the top 5 solar companies in the country will be there present. She's given us an opportunity to have a physical booth, a virtual booth, along with setting up time to meet the decision makers of solar. Again, it's here in Washington, D.C., because the decision makers in regards to congressmen who will be attending the event as well, setting up policies and procedures, will also be there. So right now, if anybody on this call is involved in solar leads, this is almost must be at. If you're doing solar, why not be with where the decision makers are? And we actually have an incredible discount. I'm not sure if this one is she's giving it to us for free, but this one is a great discount as well. So please look into those opportunities. Our goal here is that the organization that we were 4 years ago, we are much greater today. The amount of benefit and value that we're bringing to the table is continuously growing. So please reach out, email, and let's continue to build it. The next thing that I wanted to brace on is the fact is that in June, we're going to put out a survey and we're going to ask everybody to fill it out. Who knows, I might have to kidnap you again and ask everybody to fill it in. But our goal here is to make sure that we're doing the best thing we can. We're touching on all subject matters as possible so that we can continue to move the organization ahead and be able to be there for others who might be in need of us. So again, and Dala had already mentioned that we're going to, on our website, we're going to be having it where if you want to speak, you know what, you can come to our website and find things. If people want to, if you have a part of a company and there's openings, you can put those job openings on our website. If you are actually somebody who right now currently has the skill set, but you're unemployed, you can actually be listed up on the website as well. So people can come, they'll be coming to our website and then they thus can find you. So there's a lot of different things that we're putting out there. And then, of course, for the BiPM certificate, feel free again to always download that. And that's something that you can add to your LinkedIn profile. And just, again, something that's out there to be bold about, what you are and who you represent and who you support. And so then, of course, we include instructions in regards to how to download that membership certificate onto your LinkedIn profile and go from there. Anybody have any questions before we get into our deeper chat? All right. So with that in mind, guys, let's start. We want to start. I'm hoping I gave everybody kind of fair warning, and anybody who didn't hear the announcement before, the part of this meeting is we wanted to first go over some of the highlights of what's going on in the organization. 2, we want to sit back and have a 2-minute chat. Everybody's going to be given 2 to 3 minutes just to tell us about who you are, what company you represent, what is it that you guys do, how can we work together, and maybe who you already are working with within the organization of Blacks in Performance Marketing or others. So, Indala, again, I know I wanted to see if you can get the party started.
So first I need to commend you because I just looked at the time and I cannot believe you did all of that in 30 minutes. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Just saying, great job. Great job. Okay, so I will get it started by saying, and the fun thing for me is going to performance marketing conferences and knowing so many people. I was actually talking to my husband about this when I got in last night, how fun it is to actually have people that see me from across the way who I'm not really even, well, I'll talk about that in a second, but anyway, it was just great. Like being at the conference, the energy is amazing. I love being at the performance marketing conferences. So first of all, I'm the founder and CEO of Indala Live. I'm a critical thinking consultant. So I do professional development and critical thinking for businesses and organizations. And so those of you that know me, you know that that is my platform, and that is how I ended up in this space, doing some speaking for different groups within this space. So I'm also, though some of you may not know this, but I'm also working with Sean as the Chief Student Success Officer for Focus Quest, which is one of the companies that we have that targets, we build and market and fill online programs for HBCUs specifically. And so student success is also my platform. And so that's something else that I'm helping with. Also now working with BiPM as the sponsor and member liaison, which has been really fun. And something new is, since I've been rubbing shoulders with such excellent people since 2022 within this industry, and everybody seems to be having so much fun. And one of my mottos is, if it's not fun, don't do it. So now I want to have a little fun too. So I talked with Sean, I've talked a little bit with Matt also about dipping my toe into the performance marketing waters. So I'm going to be helping Sean a little bit with some of his campaigns under Your Solutions Corner. So I'm really excited about that too. So I think I may have gone over 2 minutes, but
No, you're good. You actually pulled it back. I
yeah.
love it. Paula, I would love for you to go next. Is that possible?
Yes. Hi. Hello, everyone. I
Hello.
am Paula Gregory. I work for Hometown Quotes. I have been there for 16 years. We are a lead generator and aggregator for insurance agents. We connect consumers looking for online quotes with the local agents and to help them get those quotes out to them and build policies and pipelines for the agent. I currently work with some members in Blacks in Performance Marketing, whether they're insurance agents or other affiliates within the lead gen space, and always looking to connect and learn more about performance marketing. I deal mostly with the building the relationships, retaining the relationships, and analyzing the numbers and the forefront. And I would love to just learn more about the back end and how I can be more beneficial to the agents themselves and help them grow their agencies.
Love it. Thank you so much. Again, next, can we go with James? We just met yesterday, 2 days ago at the conference. James, can you go next and tell us a little bit about what you do?
James cannot. James has a sleeping baby. And so
Oh,
he has put it in the chat. So
okay, I missed that.
that's okay.
Understood.
He's waving. So
Understood.
is, oh my goodness, look at this.
Gotcha. Understood. Thank you,
So
James.
but he says in the
So-
chat, he's from ClearLink, which is holistic marketing company in the telco and insurance industries. So yes, and we were so happy to have him at the session. Really happy to have him as a part of BIPM. Great meeting him. So yes, thank you, James.
Love it. So
And
next,
you all know what happens now that he's back at home from being away for a couple of days.
Yeah.
He's on
He's on vacation.
24/7 duty.
Yes.
she's like, I hope you enjoyed Vegas, baby.
Right.
So
Uh,
let's go to Cruz, who's taking herself on camera. I love it. Cruz, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I transitioned from the phone to camera so I can clearly see more of the presentation and all your gorgeous faces. So thank you guys again for having here. Good morning. My name is Cruz Alvarado. I was a former event director at Clarion Events. And those who are not familiar with Clarion Events produced a lot of the digital marketing shows, continues to produce the digital marketing shows that a lot of you guys attend, Affiliate Summit being one of them, and Mobile Apps Unlocked being another, and also Traffic and Conversion. So been at Clarion Events for 7 years. Since September, I have transitioned into the freelance and consulting space. I was able to retain Clarion as one of my clients as well. So it just kind of shows the power of, keeping good relationships. So a lot of the work that I do now is not only continuing to help other event management companies with a lot of trade show consulting, but also extending that consulting to our exhibitors and sponsors who just need a little bit more strategic guidance as to how to do trade shows right. Especially knowing the digital marketing space, there's a lot that has influenced the way you guys do business with the compliance laws, et cetera. Just making sure that companies continue to use their trade show budget more wisely and making sure that you're getting the optimal exposure at the event. So it's been a thrill since then, and I continue to want to become and stay more involved and support the Blacks in performance marketing as much as I can.
Oh, Cruz, I just want to let you know, thank you so much for throwing your name into the hat of helping us with the summit. This is wonderful. Again, I so appreciate it. Again, this is going to be incredible. We're going to follow your lead all the way through. So thank
Well, you know
you.
what they say about Black telepathy. It's here. So
There
just
you
know that
go. There
I'm
you
more than
go.
more than grateful and happy to support you with that venture for sure.
Appreciate it. Rob, let's go over to Rob again, who's transitioned himself a little bit. Rob, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Sean. So I'm not sure what Cruz and Indal are thinking, but you should run for the hills. I just spent, I don't know, 16 years trying to get out of performance marketing, and so I work with most of the companies and people on this group call behind the scenes, because many of you in performance marketing work with Lead ID or Journia in some capacity on your sites. So I was an early member of the Lead ID family, and now we're part of Verisk. So those of you that know Todd Nelson, also one of the charter members of Blacks Performance Marketing. And after 12 years at Lead ID Journia at Verisk, I am stepping out to just take some time and reset and catch my breath. And so no plans, freelance, relax, take some time, take some space, hang out with my nieces and nephews and wife and family, and sort of, I'm sure, stay very connected to this group and the industry and see whatever happens next. That's kind of where I'm at.
Thank you. Thank you, Rob. So let's go with we're gonna go Matt, and then we're gonna go with Brad. Matt?
All right, Matt Tillman, been in performance marketing for over 25 years at this point, with various companies in specifically consumer finance, so mortgage related or really anything consumer finance related. I've worked with many of you in various capacities, and many of us go back close to 20 years. I know Paul and I worked together probably 15 years ago. So it's great to reconnect and identify ways that we can continue to work together. What I have done, I've sold several companies. Most recently, sold a business called Rate Marketplace to another entity called Suited Connector. I stayed on with them for a little bit and actually left in January of 23. And then as of January of this year, started a new consulting business that really is about connecting buyers and sellers in the consumer finance space. So what's always interesting is that in our industry, we have this kind of middle area where, there are the affiliates that live out there, but oftentimes the buyers must go through, other entities, networks, and all sorts of things to eventually get to the sellers of their product. And I think that this should be really transparent. I can help bring those people together, and therefore specifically who you're working with, what the campaigns are that they're running, and I will even spearhead running some of these campaigns just to make sure that I understand the KPIs and I'm holding the actual sellers to the KPIs of the buyers. So that's my new world. It's been fun, and I look forward to working with more of you as I continue to build this out.
Excellent. Thank you, Matt. Mr. Brad.
Hello, yes, this is Brad Seiler. My main company is Bobberdo.com. We've been in business since 2000. We built our first lead distribution platform in 2001, and that's pretty much all that we've done since then. So the companies that use Bobberdo are primarily companies that are selling leads, and our application is kind of the back office that handles the the ping post and the lead matching and the accounting and kind of everything you need to be a lead company. But we don't do anything to find leads or find lead buyers. So we are just the software platform. All different kinds of verticals: insurance, home services, mortgage, finance, pretty much any kind of lead type will work with Bob or do. Most recently, I've started another company called assumed.com. And so with Assumed, you can buy trackable contacts that can be used for things like data breach monitoring, or if you would like to vet data partners, people you're buying data from or selling data to, you can buy these kind of fake contacts from Assumed and then seed the data. And then in an inbox, you'll see basically every call and SMS and text message that you'll get. So it's a way to keep people honest with your data.
Thank you. Wow, okay, I did not know about that new stuff. Excuse me. Arbel, you want to talk to us a little bit?
Oh, you know I can talk. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Arvell Craig. I go by AI Evangelist. I'm at a conversational AI startup. We have two products. One that helps to make calls, make transfers, make text messages, all with AI, particularly for call centers for larger companies. We start off at 10 seats, so it's a big product that's able to help companies that want to scale or cut their costs a bit. But then we also have another AI that does QA and call monitoring and assesses agents and tracks dispositions. You can do like 1,000 calls in 5 minutes. It's a different, completely separate product. It's AI powered that also helps call centers, contact centers improve performance and cutting their just costs to QA in a scalable way. And outside, so I've been in this industry. I've been in marketing for 20 years. I got into this industry because I was a consultant for many, many, many years, and I would go to the events and speak. Speaking would get me a free ticket. It would get me on the stage. I wasn't big into networking, but if I got on the stage, people would trust me, and that worked for business. And eventually I got recruited. So I've been, full-time employed the past couple of years. But outside of that, I do a lot of other speaking on AI. So I've got a book out, the AI Strategy Playbook, where I've been helping some members. I'm trying to help different members learn how to use AI and how to apply it in your business. And that's kind of my passion, that I do a lot of speaking on AI. So that's a little bit about me. Thank you. Thank you, Matt.
You see that,
Sean,
right?
here's yours. I got Sean's right here. It's already signed. Oh,
Thank
love
you.
it. Awesome.
The link to the book, the link to the book is in the chat.
There you go. We
Ooh.
support each other
My.
without question. Love it.
Love it.
And also, again, Arbel had an opportunity to speak at LeadsCon as well and did a great job. Oh, you know what? This is something that I don't highlight maybe often enough before we go to Jeremy, is that, again, our WhatsApp chat. Please, if anybody is not a part of our WhatsApp chat, let's get you added into it. This is where we sit back, and if we are attending a conference, we might say, hey, you know what? Let's all get together for lunch, or let's all get together for drinks. Oh, you know what? Oh, this person is speaking. Let's all go to conference room number 2. So we can go and support them, whatever it might be. So you understand this is in essence a community. Again, and so our goal here is to grow that a lot more actively. So if you are not part of the WhatsApp chat, please just drop maybe your phone number into the chat today, and we can add you there too as well. And of course, if you're busy, you can always mute it, but at least you have an opportunity to be able to see what the community is up to and go from there.
And we also, sorry, Sean, just one second. We also use that chat to put in pictures and things. So members that attend conferences, as they're taking pictures with other members or things that are happening at the conference that are kind of fun, those go into the WhatsApp chat as well. So even if you're saying to yourself, I have enough group chats that I'm a part of that, I don't necessarily want to have to talk back. You don't have to, but it'll give you an opportunity to see what's going on and to see where we are.
Thank you. So, and I see that we'll start adding it in. You know what, Mariana, are you able to add in the numbers? Okay, well, I guess we'll get it done. But Jeremy, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Jeremy McMillan, performance marketing manager at a SaaS company called Deputy, which makes employee management software. And so with Deputy, I help them in kind of grabbing leads from the internet, via paid search, social, display campaigns. Um, and I actually came across this group after last year's LeadsCon, where I had a chance to connect with Arvell, and I heard Matt speak. So since I usually go to these events by myself, it's good to be able to connect with people that I already have a relationship with, or are looking to build a relationship with. And as I build my marketing consulting practice kind of on the side, I realize that being known by other marketers here in Houston, but also nationwide, um, will give me a little bit more of an edge and, kind of, like you said, Sean, make me feel more like I'm in a community. So I've always known the best way to give value is to get involved. So I want to be a more consistent attendee here. Like I said, I've been to a couple of meetings in the past year, but I want to become more of a contributor and see how I can, be of use. So my experience is in doing lead gen for a number of verticals, mostly software and IT services, as well as insurance and financial services are the main ones. I work with using a variety of channels to kind of reach target audiences. I know some of you work the same verticals, but I don't see competition in this space because there is a lot of opportunity out there. It's really more of an opportunity to collaborate as partners or even affiliates, like Paula was saying earlier. So happy to be here, and like I said, hope to contribute more here over the months.
Excellent. Thank you, Jeremy. And I think other members that are on the call, I know some of them actually work along with me, so I think they're kind of staying quiet. For myself, I guess I'll go last. But I want to focus on the fact of I currently work with Indala on several projects. I've worked with Rob in regards to, again, Vertex. I work with again, Active Prospect, and Earl in their particular product lines. Again, me and Arvell currently have some AI projects that we're currently working through as well. Myself and Matt we just sit back and went through a list of about 7 different things that we're about to launch. One is my ADT campaign, along with some others here and there. I want to start off with the fact is my goal here is I want us to become somewhat of a growing network where we are exchanging opportunities, funds, and just having a blast with it. Again, encouraging each and every one of us. What I do is, again, I am somewhat of a serial entrepreneur. Again, I started back in this industry with College Bound about 28 years ago. And from that point on, have been a part of 2 or 3 successful exits. So things worked out well there. Classes USA, Educational Goal, focused really within education heavily. However, about a year and a half ago, I branched out of education and just not only just doing lead gen, but also having it where we created something called Focus Quest, which is a SSP, a student success partner, similar to an OPM, but kind of changed it up a little bit, where of course students are first. And our goal here is to help the HBCUs develop, create online programs for their students. And the reason why is that there's too many people of color who sit back and, let's say there's a hardship at home, they will actually abandon school, go back home, maybe help mom and dad, never even never exit the school. So now they are, rogue. They never go back, and now you have an again, somebody who does not have the formal education trying to compete out here in this market. Well, guess what? If there was the ability to have it where they could stay in school online, again, because right now only about 5%, just 5% of the HBCUs offer online programs. So our goal here is to change that. And so that's the reason, that's what we're doing there. So when it comes to the systems that we might need, again, Brad, this is something that maybe we can sit back and kind of talk through. Again, Jeremy, you just mentioned some things here and there. I mean, my goal here, guys, is that part of this, what we're taking out 2 to 3 minutes, is to sit back and see where can we fill in the gaps for each other. Again, I think in myself, the fact of, what AI system could I use and work with Arvell to reach more of the masses? Again, what events that I might want to run through Focus Quest that I could actually call on crews for? Again, at that event, where can Indala sit back and, and talk and teach these kids about XYZ? I mean, so again, so the goal here is to constantly be thinking about where can we fit in and fill that gap for each other. So please, think outside the box. And again, my last product, of course, is Your Solutions Corner, which still deals with lead generation, but everything outside of EDU. So we're dealing with solar, health, debt, loan, things of that nature. And that's where I'm connected that much more with Matt. There's opportunity. Let's continue to grow it and thrive through it as well. So I think I was the last one. Did anybody have any questions? Or again, please reach out to each other if you think that there's an opportunity to work with anybody else. Please, let's not be shy. Let's go out there.
Can I make a comment? I want to comment on
Please.
something Jeremy said. And that was one of the things. And I said, I mentioned that one of the reasons why I want to kind of start doing some things with performance marketing in the industry is because it's rare to be in a space where people's desires are to not just be successful themselves, but to see other people successful as well. Right? It's there. I'm sure you can find it, but I have seen it so much in this space. I was sitting next to someone on the plane yesterday who was at LeadsCon, and we were talking about that. And he said, he wants to meet different individuals here because he said, even if there's nothing that we can do together, somewhere along the line, you're going to talk to someone and you're going to say, oh, wait, I know somebody who does this or this or this. And that is really incredible to me, that it's not just about a person receiving for themselves, but it's also about how can I help you? How can I assist you? Even if you can't assist me, how can I help you? And that has been a real, it's really warm. It's a warm place to be.
So again, and she said it exactly so well. And think about it, guys. And I think that one of the things and Matt was real good with this, as Sparkle, is not just continuing the conversation, but making sure that the things that we are discussing adds to the bottom line of our individual companies, that we're seeing success within it. Because ultimately we want to have that social and moral success, but we also want to have financial success. And I think that as people sit back and start realizing it, how great would it be? I mean, I'm hoping that in the near future, we can sit back and say, you know what, members of Blacks in Performance Marketing have had an opportunity to work with, again, Brad and Jeremy and Matt and Indala. And guess what? There has been, $10 million of exchanged revenue, blah, blah, blah. Oh, wow. Oh, you know what? Let me get involved, because there's something also involved in the fact of doing things that is socially just uplifting. Again, but sometimes if you don't talk dollars and cents, people just sit back and they will kind of move away. But this is something where we have the ability to not only, again, be good socially, just great people to encourage diversity and inclusion, but also the fact of being able to sit back and make money. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it at all. So, did anybody miss anything that they wanted to share, maybe during their 2 to 3 minutes, that they did not reveal to us? Or, this is your last chance. Come on. Your last chance. If you didn't say it
No,
now.
Sean, the one thing I think we should do though is that from this conversation, if it does yield results in that we are able to partner together, share those back with the group. Like, let people know what has happened. Like Paula, you and I are going to chat here shortly. But there are opportunities that are out there, and I think that we need to continue to promote what's being done, because oftentimes there are partnerships that happen where others don't even realize that it's even possible to do. And so if we can share that as a group, if we can periodically have some updates, that would be great. And the other thing I want to say too is that, Arvel and I actually had a conversation a couple of weeks ago where it was just like a mind dump in terms of AI, right? There's so much out there, so much going on. It's moving at light speed. And I'm like, look, I know that I should be investing more of my time of understanding it, but I don't even know where to begin, right? If you are in that same place, I highly encourage you to reach out to Arvel, right? I mean, share what's going on. He's a wealth of information, and as are many others in various areas, but giving this as an example. And that's what kind of led me to like buying every book Arvel has written. There's another one as well that I have about procrastination that I bought last week. So I'm a big Arvel fan at this point. Like I'm waiting for my royalty check for promoting this. But no, there's just a lot of resources that we have to help us continue to move forward. So
And with that in mind as well, we want to sit back, even if you're not able to utilize the services of someone else. And I think Indala kind of pointed to this as well. Let's make sure that we recommend the individuals. So, for example, as Brad mentioned, Sparkles Babadoo, the fact is that, yes, that's a particular service that's unique. There's only maybe about 5 or 6 companies that do it very well. Again, you know what? Somebody's looking to search and do some things. Recommend individuals who, again, we support each other by far. So let's make sure that we have an understanding of that. And what we'll do is maybe on the site, we'll try to find a way. I want to make sure that this conversation lives on. So if somebody says, well, who was the person who did events? I want to make sure that they can find crews. So we have to sit back, and if anybody has some suggestions on how we could reasonably place that into on the site, please let me know. And then of course, again, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm waiting for Rob to tell me what he's next getting into, because I'm going to be one of the first lined up to become a part of that. Success just follows him. So, and I'm sorry, if I follow him, they're bound to just fall into money. So again, so whenever he finds his transition and makes it, you know what, be right there. So just one thing to another. And then of course, the new company that Brad just launched, that's something that I'm interested in myself. The fact is, you know what, how can I sit back and seed, myself into others? So this here, again, test it, try it, recommend it, but let's continue to support and encourage and kind of go from there. I see there's a bunch of people dropping things into the chat. Arvel, you are now an administrator of the WhatsApp. So please, I think, add those numbers in as well. And is there anything before, and I want to make sure I'm cognizant of time, is there anything that I may have missed that we want to talk about? Oh, Rob?
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Thanks for the endorsement and raising the bar on me. Now I feel obligated to figure out how to make you rich. Thanks. I was gonna offer a thought as I disappear for a while, but not entirely, which is I think Blacks in performance marketing can become the glue. I mean, specifically for performance marketing. I mean, I know that the organization has arms and legs outside of just performance marketing and lead gen and leads con, but if we could reach one or more person of color or supporter or ally from every company that we work with at this conference and across the conferences, multiple conferences, there is, without an industry trade group, without conferences that now do networking, we all go, we all see each other, but we're all there for business. I think Black performance marketing can become a connective communication, trust tissue, and that will lead to the things you were talking about now there are new partnerships, now there's revenue from new partnerships, now there's referrals now, but I think like a small step in that direction is, and I know we've been working on it and getting the word out and messaging is, if there were 50 companies that attended this call, even just one person from each company that knew about it and was a little bit more active, that would create a safe space, but also a networking effect, a ripple effect that I think we're not yet harnessing. And so, and I think it's marketing, but I think it's messaging, but I think it's and you'll get this, Sean, and Matt, you'll get this, but like the orange kicks, right? And I'm just thinking about my history and something you said, Sean. If we could get the message out in a different way, It's still the same message, still lead ID, but now you're all wearing orange sneakers. Like it, right? I think there's an opportunity to juice this in a way that is valuable to everybody, and we're not quite getting that squeeze yet. And so that's my challenge, and I will be thinking about it from the sidelines a little bit. But I think there's an amplifier effect that we could be harnessing for the not just the next couple of weeks of conferences, but the next year. So that's how I'm going to go make Sean read.
Well, thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate that. I can always depend on you. I wrote that down. We're gonna sit back and we'll circle back. Please, Rob, I know while you are, kind of and you're doing your hiatus, feel free to always, again, just keep this on your calendar. Keep this on your calendar.
It is.
So wonderful. So guys, it is about 2 minutes to 1. I always want to be cognizant of everybody's time. Want to say thank you so much for attending. Thank you for putting up with my hoarse voice today. But again, and also just participating with because we just finished a major conference. But do note, find your way to fit in. There are so many different opportunities here. Again, even if it's in when we go to January for our first summit. Let's find a way. If there's somebody that you admire, a speaker, recommend. You know what? We only know what we're only as strong as you guys make us. So please continue to do so. Outside of that, guys, have an incredible weekend. And again, look for the announcements. Also, make sure everybody's following us on all social media platforms, all LinkedIn. Again, feel free to feel free to repost. Again, right now, this here is what gets the word out. You see something that's that you like, you see a photo, repost it. Again, it works, it helps us a lot. So we just sent out our thank you post, I think, to LeadsCon for letting us, do XYZ. Again, you know what? Give us a thumbs up if you can and get the word out. So outside of that, guys, it's 1 o'clock. Thank you so very much for attending, and we will see you around as well as next month. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.